martial law, political corruption, torture, and injustice. The stage was set to uncover violations and corruption of the oppressor. Calls went out on social networking sites such as Facebook and Twitter for widespread demonstrations in Egypt on January 25. Indeed, there was a response, and thousands of demonstrators whom we symbolically consider the savior of the oppressed truth. Make Tahrir the stage for peaceful protests against poverty, unemployment, government corruption, and the autocratic governance of President Hosni Mubarak with an iron fist. It is noteworthy here that these protesters were mostly intellectuals and political activists. Still, spectators watch. However, they are called upon to join and become spect-actors and liberate themselves from the cop in the head. Being an autocratic regime, there is no room for dialogue. The conversation is one-sided. The regime refuses to open channels for discussion and readies itself for the use of the usual methods of violence to disperse the oppressed. Thus, the peaceful demonstrators are met with the usual means of dispersal, namely tear gas, water cannons, and bullets. Yet, they show resilience and persistence to continue the fight despite the use of even harsher weapons.
Protests persisted on January 26 and 27 despite the use of brute force to dampen the uprising, culminating in a complete shutdown by the oppressor's regime of mobile phones and internet connections, an unprecedented first in the history of Egypt, in an attempt to curtail communications among adamant protesters and ending the way of news to the outside world. Such measures only increased protests nationwide, and on January 28, more demonstrators joined the troop, planting the seeds of spectators and paving the way for Friday Day stage. The naming of the day is significant, as it points to the rage of the oppressed and refusal to give in. It also points to their resolution and determination to achieve their aim, and that there is no going back till they achieve their goal. Peaceful demonstrations become more aggressive and angry. Indeed, it is the day spectators become spectators. People swarm into Tahrir this time, calling for the ouster of Mubarak as head of the oppressive regime. More demonstrators march from different parts of the city and are met with extreme violence by security forces, who fire tear gas and live bullets, resulting in many deaths and casualties. More spectators joined the scene, and numbers on that day were reported to be in hundreds of thousands. After violent altercations, the security forces withdrew by sunset, to be followed by the first presidential speech since January 26th. The first sign of a change in rhetoric from monologue to a form of dialogue is evident as the tyrant announces a change in government, but still shows no sign of resignation. He makes major governmental changes, including a cabinet reshuffle and appointing the first vice president in his 30-year rule. The autocrat address to the nation and the day's bloody event only displays the sense of urgency of the protesters. Such changes do not appease the protesters who, unlike past years, remain unrelenting in their quest for the ouster of the president. Activism of our state, we don't recognize any decisions Mubarak has taken since January 25th. This is a failed attempt to be established.
In the second televised address, the 82-year-old president addresses Egyptians on February 1st. In response to a quarter of a million people's continuous call on his step-down, he offers a compromise. He states that he would not seek re-election and that it had been his intention all along not to do so. He said, I will work for the final remaining months of the Cairo term to accomplish the necessary steps for the peaceful transfer of power. This dear nation is where I live. I fought for it and defended its soil, sovereignty and interests. On its soil I will die. History will judge me like it did others. His Moreover, marking this day are also reported incidents of violence towards foreign journalists and reporters. The Battle of the Camel consisted of violent clashes with protesters by alleged Mubarak supporters riding on camels and horses, wielding swords and sticks. The implication of this day's events are extremely important. The oppressor was in hiding under the pretenses of the untouchable tribe leader, failing fatherly compassion at all occasions is exposed. Once he recognizes the unprecedented power of the revolutionaries, he attempts to hold on to power at any cost, without hiding behind the pretenses of law and order. Moreover, acknowledging his lack of legitimacy and credibility, he oppressed